Hey YouTube, the thumbnail pretty much says it all. We are creating a really big, crazy loud exhaust for this 1.8T budget build. We bought the car for 800 bucks. We've got a little bit over $1,000 into it, and it's pretty nice, sweet already. My son is gone for the weekend, so I want to try to get some of this in and surprise him. I just went up and picked a flex pipe up, because you kind of got to have a flex pipe between the motor and the exhaust or bad things happen. Things move, stuff like that. So I kind of have an idea for an exhaust. I want to come off with the 3-inch that I have stubbed down there from the last video. If you haven't seen that, it's back there a ways. We put a big 3-inch downpipe off the turbo, and now it makes crazy turbo noises. So we're gonna do that. I want to get that flex pipe in, get a piece on it. I want to go from 3-inch to bigger, and then I think in the rear I want to shrink it back down to 3-inch, and I feel like that can that we build in the center there is going to transform the sound. It's going to make it sound better. I love exhaust. I love tuning exhaust. You can pretty much make your car sound however you want. That pipe is pretty much basically a speaker. How you put it in there changes the sound of your car. I have a couple exhaust tuning videos. You can look those up. I did them about a year ago, just changing the exhaust sound by changing the tip. Bigger, smaller, longer. You can completely transform the sound of your car, and that's what I like doing. I got all these pieces. They are off diesel trucks, so you can get pieces like this from the junkyard, you know, $5, $5, you know, $1. All this stuff is from diesel trucks in a junkyard. We went to the salvage yard, picked up some pipes, and I always have this stuff laying around. I can show you the original size of the exhaust right here. That's the original. That's what we're putting in here. So, and then this one is even bigger. This is what I think we're coming out the back with. So let's see if there's a difference. Let's get this thing jacked up, start piecing and parting this in, get it routed to the back, and then we'll weld it all up, and let's see what we come up with. All right, we got it up on jacks and jack stands. Here's the pipe we stubbed out with. So that's a good start. We will weld in the flex pipe on that. And then we've got to take the rest of this old exhaust out. There's a big muffler back there. So we'll get that out first, and then we're just gonna run our pipe right in this valley. Once we get back there, we'll know what we gotta do. But first things first, get the flex pipe fitted up and our first piece of big pipe. Believe it or not, it's not so easy to get down. I spray PB Blaster on these ends because we want to reuse those little hangers. The exhaust we put in here, I'll run a hanger to this one, and I'll run a hanger to that one. There's 2 of them, and the exhaust we put in here will be way lighter than this, so they should hang it just fine. Had to cut it in 2 pieces. Right here, it would not come up over the axle, but this thing here weighs all of 30 pounds, so that's nice. And it gave us a bunch of room for activities. So exhaust is gonna come down this chute here, come here, go that way, and then right there, cut back, and we will go out the back with it. We have all of our heat shields in place, so that's nice. May want to run a self-tapper into that one. There is nothing worse than an exhaust shield rattle. When you know your exhaust sounds good and you've put the work in, and then you've got one of these rattles when you hit 2 grand RPM every single time. And that's the one thing people notice. Not your cool sounding exhaust, they notice the rattle. I got my flex pipe ready. I got my one end's gonna slip inside my exhaust that's on the car, and then I'm slowly building up this side to be able to accept, you know, the bigger pipe. So once I get that to where it will connect to the bigger pipe, we will start cutting them all in and plumbing it to the back. Here's all our remnants. I really needed this right here. I needed that right angle, but I hammered on it and it was it's thin. It would have just rusted out and leaked anyway. But that piece right there would have been great for going up over my axle, because it's not round anymore. It's kind of like oval, and it's only, you know, 2.5 inches tall. But I got it, I'm welding it together. I've got the flex pipe on there right now. Once I get all this welded together, I'll pull the flex pipe off, weld it to the end of that. That way I can shove it in there. And then we've got to worry about our tailpipe. Holy crap, that looks insane. Look how big it gets. That's how I did my deal. I had to patch one there, but I just weld them all up. I did a fat weld on my increaser, whatever the pipe I used, and then I did a fat weld on that one, which they almost came down and joined each other. So I mean, there won't be any leaks in that. It'll be solid. Here's the exhaust pipe we took off, and the exhaust pipe we put on. We just doubled the size of our exhaust pipe, actually. So now comes for the hard part. I got to get this up in there, somehow hang it, and I have to try to fabricate the part that goes up over the axle. I'm gonna have to cut some of this off, but I wanted it in there so I could put pipes close to it and see what I've got. I've never seen this done before, guys. Have you ever seen anybody take 5 different diesel exhausts and, you know, put one together for a car? For a turbo car, it's awesome. You'll never hear turbo sound like you hear out of these. So I'm excited. I want to hear this thing, and I want to get it done before Maddox gets home. All right, you can see that we've got it coming out the back right where we wanted it to. I just went to the store and bought some rod. We've got to build that hanger, so I'll show you that in a second. First things first, I have to finish welding up front. There's a spot where I can't get my welding, my MIG gun at all close to it, so I'm gonna have to get creative with that and try to figure out how to weld that. This is the home run stretch right here, so we get some finished welding done, and we'll see what we're going to throw on the back of this. I do know we are going to have to trim this metal plate out. I may have to get rid of this hanger here, as it might be in the way. So still a lot of fabrication to do, but we're getting closer. Alright, we've got the front complete down all the way back to the hanger, shoots over. I've got it just past the axle. So now what I'm gonna do is back this thing out, bring it in backwards, jack the back up, and work on that. It's a lot easier to work under it without one side up if we can just lift the whole back up. You can move around a lot more. She crackles and pops for sure. I'll start it up for you, let you hear it. it in the air. Now I can show you kind of what I'm working with. There's what I got. So we're gonna bring it back with this. That's going to bring me where I want to come back. And then, bigger tip, I want to stop it back by the spring somewhere, where I put my tip on and come out, because it's kind of loud and we might want to put a muffler on it at some point, so I can weld a muffler to this size pipe. I'm going to work on trying to figure this out. I want to get this all put together with the tailpipe, everything, before I weld it on there. So I'll build this, weld it all up, get it to where it comes out, you know, right here, boom, and then we'll slide it all in and go from there.
What do you think Maddox is gonna say when he gets home?
What's up?
I said, what do you think Maddox is gonna say when he gets home?
He's gonna freak out. Made it home. Yeah. I think he likes it. He didn't expect me to be doing this weekend, but I've been wanting to do it. I wanted to get rid of some of them pipes in my garage and you know, surprise him. So this is what a diesel truck exhaust sounds like on a 1.8T, and they're throwing 10-inch tips on their trucks. We might as well go half and go with the 5-inch tip on ours. But that's it, man. diesel truck exhaust on a 1.8T. You can do this yourself. Even if you're looking to go up to a 2.5 inch or 3 inch exhaust, go to the junkyard, cut some pipes out of some trucks. You know, a full-size truck is going to have a bigger exhaust. You cut them out, and you get a couple 90s and a couple angles and some straight pieces. You can make anything you want. So, I encourage you to do it. Don't go spend $400 on a pre-made, someone that put a couple bends in. Make your own. You can make the car sound like you want to. You know? Make it sound awesome. Build your own awesomeness. What will we be doing next, Maddox? What do you know? I don't really know what to do next.
Maybe the KO4.
Oh, KO4 turbo. Yep, we are thinking about that. This one is leaking a little bit of oil into your intercooler. So that turbo probably does need sealed. So we can get a whole KO4S for 150 bucks. Those are good for 25 pounds of boost.
Yep.
Yeah, 25 pounds. I don't know why more people don't run VWs.
Right.
Honestly, you know, Hondas don't come with a turbo. You have to get a turbo and then do all the work. These come with the turbo. These 1.8Ts are awesome cars. You can tune the ECU. You don't need to run Honda data and all that crap. It's already set up from the factory to play with. Honestly, these are more cost efficient than a Honda. They don't rust out like the Honda in the rear. And they already come with turbos. That's what I like.